Got a video by Jamari, and it's titled "The End of Adam 22 and No Jumper." Now, it's been some stuff going on. People going to jail. Adam allegedly going to jail, but then later on finding out it's a lie. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I'm not gonna lie. So let's see if Jamari can consolidate this into a point, and we can talk about it. So here we go.
Channel used to be the downfall of Adam 22 and the dismantling of his brand No Jumper. Basically, No Jumper completely imploded back in 2023, not only losing some of their most popular talents, but also creating this never-ending beef between Adam and the at the time recently departed.
Paid for the funeral as soon as it happened, just because.
Now after this, Adam
Not gonna lie, that was a crazy era, bro. Not like of content, the back and forth that they was having, like House Phone, AD, Lush getting fired live, T-Rail and Smack leaving. You know what I'm saying? I think Duno left too. Like all of they like level headed, like I'm in the street all the time, folks. Like that, I don't know how much in the streets are active. AD and T-Rail and all them is, but they seem like they was moving past that, and they ain't on the show like glorifying what they doing in the streets all day. But to see them all leave, you could kind of see the end of that era and what they pushed into, and kind of where I stopped watching. I seen a lot more clips of. I found myself watching more clips of point and shoot, breaking down the foolishness that's going down on the show than actually watching No Jumper. So crazy.
would look at his brands in a completely different light.
I didn't set down any boundaries in the beginning. It was just like, here's a table, here's these cameras, here's these 4 million subscribers, do whatever the you guys want.
And while people enjoyed the content farm that No Jumper had become, he had held the claim that he was actually losing money on these new shows that he had created, and obviously the talent that he had hired. After this, Adam seemed extra anxious to cash out and completely changed the way that he was operating, hiring some new talent while retaining some other guys, and really just trying to keep No Jumper's head above water. And I feel like the real desperation would not start until his wife Lena announced that she would be appearing in an adult video with corn star Jason Love. Keep in mind, this came right on the heels of her and Adam getting married. And of course, we all know how that thing ended. And with Adam completely...
I'm not gonna lie. Looking at it, like, and the events of that and the way it played out, having that happen to your wife immediately, almost feeling like immediately after y'all got married, and doing and coming back and doing that is crazy. I know they don't live a normal lifestyle, but that is absolutely nefarious work. To be like, oh yeah, we just got married. What's the first thing that you want to do post us getting married? I want to shoot with a black dude. I'm just saying.
leaning into this arc of his career, even calling himself the king of all cups, aka the guys with the special little chairs in the corner of the room. I actually predicted that this situation would cause permanent damage to his online reputation.
Do you think that you her better than Adam did?
Well, obviously, yes.
Which, looking back, is exactly what happened. It's like Adam entered a never-ending inferno of getting roasted online. So of course he would double down on the humiliation and the attention by hosting a web show giving away his wife to the man of his choice.
We're gonna get you out of the situation.
Right, but the whole idea is that we're gonna do it together.
Just went there and just pulled my pants down and showed my French baguette to Lena and Adam.
What I had to bring, I don't think he wanted.
Now this pretty much ended the same way, only this time Adam would actually cross swords with Dude. Now since then, Adam had not really been worth talking about.
Okay, I was watching again on the topic of like him steady partaking in this with his wife. I was watching the Grits and Eggs pod recently. If y'all not hip, tap in. And it was like this part of the undercover shtick, play yourself down, play the fool, so you could get these gang members in there with you to basically tell on themselves, so you could operate as a as a FBI, as a CIA agent, like basically, like playing undercover, bro. Tat your face up, get the tats, and we gonna get these gang members off the streets. So I'm starting to believe that the conspiracy, that this is all like FBI, CIA. You know what I'm saying? We set up in LA, get all the gang members in there to get on the pod to tell their business so we could throw them in jail. It's starting to, the pieces starting to fall in line. They did the same thing with cracking cocaine.
Honestly, his antics just got stale after he showed up on stream wearing a G-string.
I'm going to put on this thong and I'm going to go into the news and I'm going to say hi to everybody.
And then he was quote-unquote acting like he was shooting a gay scene with none other than Jack Doherty's brother. Something he would later reveal was apparently an April Fool's prank.
To troll the world into believing that I am a homosexual.
But honestly, at that point, I don't think anyone really cared enough to be tricked. And now apparently Adam has been struggling financially, or at least no jumper. Recently, they were actually sued by 2 former employees at his company who alleged some sort of discriminatory termination. And then Adam even promoted an alleged crypto rug pull called Coin. And keep in mind, this is something that he was dead against in the past, yet he was completely unapologetic when CoffeeZilla questioned what the hell he was doing.
I reached out. I said, hey, you shouldn't run a coin. It's lame, and you're gonna scam or get scammed. Then Adam22 says, how else am I gonna afford all this Galaxy gas?
And that really made me
See, if you've been watching No Jumper, right, for a long time, you know whenever he backed into a corner, he leaned to comedy. Like you just saw it with the corn star thing and the shelling your wife out for OnlyFans content, and he's on the internet just like saying, all right, I'm gonna make myself a butt of the joke. Meme coin falls on his face. All right, I'm gonna make myself the butt of the joke to act like I'm buying Galaxy gas. And then the thing with he played a clip earlier with House Phone in the situation. I think then he tried not he didn't do it, and he ain't I ain't even gonna try and pull that. That'd be a reach, but he always leaned towards comedy and making himself seem dumber than what he is whenever he backed into a corner to not take accountability. It's a repeat thing you see with him.
wonder, like, why would Adam feel the need to scam his own fans for at most a couple $100,000? And now we might finally have the answer to that, as around a month later, several of his podcast hosts and friends have been detained in a large-scale gang sweep, and even Adam himself had some sort of contact with the feds as well.
I made it 41 years into this life before I had involvement, conversation with federal agents.
And now Adam made this video claiming that No Jumper has gone completely broke, but some actually believe this is to avoid paying possible legal fees, or at the very least that he is lying with an agenda. Alright guys, so here we are on the actual video where Adam claims that No Jumper is going broke. Apparently they're having some sort of logistical issues, and some other unexpected expenses have come up that are basically killing his business.
So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. We're doing well on Facebook and Snapchat. We employ quite a few of the hottest content creators on the West Coast, and we pump out an insane amount of content on a weekly basis.
Yeah, 25 million views is really nothing to scoff at, especially when most of them are like really long form views. I mean, I gotta estimate that off AdSense alone, they're clearing at least 6 figures, but you guys have to remember that
W Pocket Watcher. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's about to get into all the overhead that he got to do and all the talent he got to pay. So we gonna let Jamari do the knowledge and Pocket Watch.
Jumper has like a massive operation. I think they had purchased like a $5 million building back in 2022 or 2023. And at the time, I praised them for doing this. I always think it's cool when people can make like a media conglomerate like that. I thought he was going to be like his own little version of Barstool, but I think Adam witnessed firsthand how quickly you can just start burning through money simply because you own this insane building. And when you're just doing a podcast, like, do you really need all of that? Like, I get that it looks cool. I get that you want it to be like maybe the next Barstool, but that business model, especially in this economy, is just really rough.
How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue.
And this is a problem that a lot of businesses made during the pandemic. They thought that because people were at home and people were feeling good spending their stimmy money, back before inflation, that, oh, these sales are going to last forever. And now that the economy has essentially flipped on its head, well, a lot of these businesses just cease to exist.
I'm gonna stop him there, but for No Jumper's sake, they got to relying on too many gimmicks. Like they had quality time. I think the shows is what got them. Like they I think they got too advantageous with the shows, because before that, No Jumper was just breaking music artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of the people you would see coming up, like the SoundCloud era, they benefited off of that. Then they rode the wave going into 2020. That's when they got to expanding. But the talent that they had and the things that they was doing, yes, they could have did Barstool, but with music. But we see Barstool still kept it majority based in sports. Like they ventured out to some here or there spots, but they kept a lot of their core talent and they honed that core talent, and they started working. They started working and working and working. But for no jumper, then I guess they started expanding. I don't know why I just kept saying working, but they started expanding into other things and getting bigger and like really developing that talent that they had in the building. But for No Jumper's sake, they let a lot of petty BS, because I used to watch this channel all the time, like 2023, 2022, and even pandemic, you know what I'm saying, watching this shit. And then like even before that, like again, was breaking all the SoundCloud artists, all the people who was all the little clout era, everybody who was had something going on was going on No Jumper. That was the place where you saw the interview. But the talent and the hosts that they had, I think it was just too many shows. And if they would have just focused on using the talent that they had with the hosts and kind of letting them expand, then they could have stayed afloat. But then you start getting into doing other, you want to do corn scenes, and you want to do, I bet that's lucrative, but I think that took away some of the effort that he was putting into just keeping the main thing the main thing. Like your girl do that, you could dabble, but it seemed like he was too invested into, all right, we gonna get the latest gang member on here, we're gonna start a bunch of drama, we gonna have some viral moments and kind of cultivate drama instead of doing what you was doing before, which was operating in the culture. And that's why he get a lot of flack from black creators. Is like, you operating in this culture, but you really don't care about it. You just trying to make a buck, which this is what it seemed like now. Like, I mean, we strayed so far away, but I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Our YouTube numbers, which had doubled or even tripled, gradually returned to normal. Our Snapchat and Facebook numbers, which had exploded during COVID, sometimes even hitting six figures a month, shrank by about 80% or more. Our Patreon, which was...
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I was getting contacted by a couple of reps from Snapchat that wanted to take what I was doing on YouTube and basically make a series, for the Snapchat stories or whatever. And they were telling me, like, oh, we can offer you double your YouTube revenue. Apparently, the numbers were insane. Almost like when Twitter first announced their Twitter Blue program, they were paying out a lot of money. But over time, the model was just not sustainable once you keep letting more and more people in.
Was absolutely killing it for a year or two when we were doing uncensored, aka nude interviews with up-and-coming superstars like Kazumi and Sky Bree. Fell off quite a bit with the launch of Plug Talk and a decreased interest in seeing us interview stars.
I mean, let's be honest for a second, guys. No one is...
But what did I just say that he was getting too invested in the other stuff because you want to be a P star so bad. Like I just said it.
Watching corn so that they can know about the girl's personality. No one's saying, oh, I wonder where she wants to get taken for a date. I wonder how she got into this industry. Was there trauma involved? Of course.
I get it for like I get it for like the big stars who went viral and all this other stuff, but like it's like it seemed like sometimes you was trying to break these models, these actresses, these OF shorties. It was like he was trying to break them because I'm getting on there. I'm like, I ain't, like I never heard of this person before, but she got an interview. Like I get it. Like you may know her, or they a close friend, but it's like, dang, like this almost like a once a week thing. It was feeling like I don't know, man. I don't know.
And the other thing to me is there really that many people out there that want to see Adam getting busy on camera? Like, I get that his girl is like the focal point of the corn business that they do, but at some point, aren't these people going to be like, yo, we're sick of Adam. We don't want to see him on that orange couch no more? As a matter of fact, if you've ever paid for one of his films, I'm looking at you completely sideways.
You might recall that the channel took quite a hit when approximately 8 of our hosts left the platform in March
Classic
of
moment.
2023. Although we've definitely largely recovered and managed to build up a very healthy roster of talent since.
But you fired some of them, and then they went to jail even after that. So let's pump the brakes there a little bit.
Then that certainly took a toll on our business for a while as well.
Yeah, I mean, they did recover pretty nicely from all that backlash.
But we were still solidly profitable. That is, until the last few months, where we experienced 2 major L's that we never could have seen coming. First, we lost the No Jumper Instagram. After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account, we got taken down one day and we still have absolutely no idea why. We were bringing in a very solid amount of cash monthly that was keeping us afloat via selling sponsored posts on the account.
You know, I do always wonder if those type of Instagram promotions actually lead to real growth for an artist. I honestly feel like you'd be better off trying to do something a little bit unique and trying to get your music trending that way through some sort of like sick little reel, sick little short video.
In addition to that, we have been hit with a bullshit lawsuit from a former employee. Now, essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it still cost us a ton of money already, and it's expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands.
God damn. I mean, yeah, I've heard that those legal fees will drain you quick. I mean, I would think if they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on this, it must be somewhat serious. And yeah, this is apparently the court case right here. And so yeah, apparently this Riley Garcia and
Oh, Yuri suing him? Yuri is suing him. And his girlfriend? All right. What? Is Adam gonna give some context to this? Is we gonna break this down? Okay. Is Yuri the one that's done? I would have never thought he was gonna be the one that was gonna bring down the whole operation. This like a movie script almost.
and this Yuri guy, who I think I remember, are suing No Jumper, Adam, somebody named Josh, and somebody named Nicholas. So yeah, they're basically saying that No Jumper and Adam right here are responsible for some sort of acts of discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. I mean, honestly, for all the shoddy things that were going on in No Jumper, like even before all these individuals were employed, I feel like this shit could turn to a damn class action lawsuit. Like on some surviving No Jumper shit, allegedly. Either way, I think this is the guy Yuri. They probably don't want to show his face for legal reasons.
Nah, Yuri was. I know Yuri was on some shows, but I think wasn't he mostly just like, from what I remember, he was just an editor, and then he was doing his own streaming thing on the side. But I know he was like an employee of some sort. I guess all of the hosts was employees, but I think he was like really a behind the scenes person before they put him on camera. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I might be wrong, but it's just funny because out of like the ADs and the Sharps of the world and the T-Rails of the world, like, or like any other other people he had on here that could sue him, is Yuri. Like that's funny. That's funny.
But
It's insane to me that a person that we did so much for can just invent some grievances out of thin air and cost us this much money as a result. But somehow that's our reality, and we have to fight this rather than just give in to this piece of shit.
I mean, yeah, because if you give in to one person, it kind of sets the precedent like, oh, everyone come sue me now. I'm just going to be handing out settlements.
So as a result of all these circumstances, we are making some changes. Over the last few months, we laid off multiple employees in an attempt to reduce our expenses as much as possible. We closed down our store on Melrose.
Damn.
And we're in the early stages of selling our current warehouse and moving into a smaller space.
Damn.
To be honest, aside...
They closed the store too? I thought that was like that would seem like that'd be something like his baby, like the store. He talk about that. He used to talk about that store all the damn time. But they selling a warehouse too. Like I know I got stuck on the store a little bit, but sheesh. So I'm wondering what's up for the channel next and the rest of the podcast. Like I thought this title was like just clickbait because he did the end for a lot of people before, like Jamario's videos I'm talking about in particular. But I don't know. This seem a little. I don't know. How y'all think they gonna recover from this if they do? Because I find it hard to believe that you just like a channel like No Jumper. Like how many subscribers they got? That 4.8. It look like it. I'm trying to look through the play button, but what's next?
Aside from the layoffs, which sucked, I'm pretty happy about a lot of these changes. I've realized that I should have paid more attention to DJ Vlad and kept my overhead as low as possible, particularly in terms of staff and location.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that massive building that I guess he bought turned into an insane fucking headache. And I would say the only saving grace here is that really only No Jumper could go bankrupt. Like, it's hard for me to see them coming after his personal assets if he has everything set up correctly.
Confident that once we get the building sold, we'll be in a pretty solid financial position again as a business. I've got another business in the form of Plug Talk, and I've got a pretty decent investment portfolio on a personal level. It was a big decision to share this stuff with you guys, but at a certain point, I realized that I've been honest with the world about just about everything in my life over the years, and it felt wrong to keep all this stuff that we've been dealing with in secret.
Adam, come on, bro. Be honest about the rug pull, then.
I know what you're thinking.
No.
What can you do to help? Well,
I wasn't thinking
I do
that.
have some ideas, which I'll sort into 3 categories here: free, cheap, and generous.
Oh, here we
Free.
go. Adam's about to ask the audience for some money to...
Free, cheap, and generous. What y'all think he about to say? Because if it's anything other than like, share, comment, and subscribe, hell no. It's a no from me, dog.
to pay those legal fees.
We are really trying to get serious about embracing our members here on YouTube.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about memberships on YouTube? Have you joined anyone's channel? I'm always getting emails encouraging me to do that type of thing, but I don't know, it's just hard for me to see someone in my audience spending like the same price as Netflix or something like that, just so they can watch an extra piece or like an uncensored version of my content.
$5 a month, we've got a ton of awesome benefits, including being able to watch all of our interviews free of censorship and bleeped words before they're released to the public. Members only chat for all of our live stream content.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you're like a huge time fan and you really want to be in like the members only chat, that's the only reason I can see doing something like
He just why don't he just up the Patreon? I know like for their channel so big, it's like, all right, we could offer this stuff to you, but just up the Patreon. I don't see why he just don't do that unless he about to say that.
this. And I'll also say, like, if you're getting endless entertainment value from somebody and it's pretty much all free, yes, I can see you throwing them like $5 a month.
And for those of you who have more money to spend, we're introducing a mega premium $100 tier to our memberships that will get your name added to the
$100 a month? $1,200 a year? That's like 1 month of rent for...
To just have your name? At the end of a video, nobody. I'll tell you right now. I ain't trying to get on nobody for get your bag, bro. But me personally, maybe some people do. I ain't gonna get your bag at them. But I'm not. If I'm watching somebody's video, I'm not looking for nobody name at the end. Like sometimes, like if I watching, like I think I watch Papa Meat channel. Like he put his Patreon or patrons at the end of his video, but like I can't really say that I'm reading those names. I guess if you pay for it, it's cool to see your name on a video that get millions of views. I just personally don't. I don't see why. If that's what you like to do, then go right ahead. I'm not gonna hate on you.
For a lot of people. But hey, you get those producer credits.
And it will also get you consistent advice and opinions on your
Oh
music
my
submissions
God.
with one free submission per month and discounted additional songs.
Honestly, if you are a young up and coming artist and you have $100 to spend on your career, this is not where I would put it. I remember back in the day, No Jumper would always do these like listening to your music live streams where maybe like 10, 15,000 people were tuned in and they were just playing different people's music who would send them $100.
I like it. I want to.
It's not bad.
I want to hang out with him and be depressed.
And I really want to know if one single person or one single song actually blew up from doing that. Because when you're a broke artist, $100 isn't just like chump change. I just think you're still much better off trying to do like a Facebook or Instagram, maybe even a TikTok campaign. And you can at least be a lot more precise with what type of demographic you're going for.
There's my update. I've been kind of thinking about telling you guys about all this stuff for a while. I'm not begging for sympathy or anything like that. I'm just being realistic about owning a media business.
And honestly, guys, for once, I don't really see this as something to really clown at him about. This is something that a lot of businesses all over the country are experiencing right now. And I do think it's really easy to expand when you feel like you have a really good thing going. You feel like the community loves it. Like, there was this barbecue trailer nearby, and they were like a hit classic in South Austin. They go and try and move into a huge brick and mortar, and it just completely fucks everything up. The service was bad. They were always running out of food, stealing tips from the wait staff. It just ended up being this huge shit show. And within like 4 months, this previously really popular food trailer that was making a ton of money went completely bankrupt. Even back a couple of years ago, I thought about making like essentially a smaller version of what his office was, where people could come in if they want and rent the space out and do podcasts, but I thought mainly I would use the space as an office. But then as I started renting out spaces and talking to the people that, you know, own these type of media places, I realized that it was essentially a money pit. Like, I remember I paid like $400 to shoot at this place for 2 hours, a podcast with my buddy Danny. And I remember in the main office, this guy had a little TV that had his like whole booking schedule up. And that shit was free as a fucking bird. No one was booking that spot. And it was actually pretty nice. And yeah, I just think in this type of economy, it's really hard to run this type of business model. Honestly, it's been a really long time since I've watched any No Jumper content. But hey, someone's still watching, apparently 25 million views a month. So I think that they're gonna be alright. Y'all let me know down below if you think this is really about something else, if you think that Adam is trying to hide this money away. But as always, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like.
No, yeah, good video about Jamari, man. Appreciate it. But if y'all want to see more reactions about normal news and sports and all this other stuff, I'm gonna keep more reactions coming. But yeah, I think it was he was stretching his arms in too many directions. He was spreading himself really thin, and I think that, like he said, like expanding your business is always advantageous. And at the time, like 2023, 2022, I was watching a lot of No Jumper content because it was entertaining. Drama was entertaining too. Like, it was like turning on a soap opera. But like since then, and all the hosts that I like to watch left, it was like watching a show with all your favorite characters gone. Essentially, that's what it was. So I got less invested, but shit, it sucked that they had to sell their building like that. I mean, shoot, it sound really realistic that you got to keep up a whole building, bro. Like, I'll run into people who talk about just keeping up a household, like in general. Like, it's a lot of work. Now, just imagine like a building with like lots of employees and editors and people you got to pay constantly. And for whatever reason, like an income stream goes away, like Instagram, or like if their Twitter was gone, or if something is demonetized, all that work you get paid, all that work you put in, and you still got to pay your whole staff. Like, that's crazy, man. But good video, dog. But if you want to see more reactions, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like. But without further ado, I'm going to get us up out of here. Cool.